Oh, that doo-doo, man.
I will ask you two questions, Jazz, and then I want Lolo and Fantastic to intervene. Do you think this is a realistic depiction of relationships? And second, do you think this is oppression? Me letting you do, for the most part, what you want to do, and understand to 20% of things in 100 that we do, I say, I'm sorry, I'm your man, you shouldn't do that. Do you think there's most relationships, and do you think that's oppression, a man oppressing and controlling a woman?
No, I think relationships are about compromise. So what you just named, like sometimes I watch this show, you usually wouldn't, but you like your girl, so, and she probably wants your company, so you'll compromise and watch the show. That's not her controlling you. That's just doing you. That's just you doing something naturally because you like your girl. You actually love her back, and even though you don't want to watch this, like this is my girl. I like her. She likes my company. It's okay to be a nice person and not feel like you can only be a good person unless you got total control and authority over somebody. If your person loves you, they're going to listen to you. If your person appreciates and respects you, they're going to follow whatever leadership that you have. If your leadership and whatever it is that you're controlling is beneficial for both people in the relationship, and she honors you, she's going to follow that. So it's like if you're a solid dude and you know what you're leading yourself down the right road, you're respecting this woman, she ain't gonna have no problem falling under your rule or your control or whatever you want it to be. But you shouldn't have to like you shouldn't have to feel like in order for you to show up as a man, you gotta put your foot on a woman's neck.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad she said that. Hold on. Listen to what she just said.
You just said it. Oh my God. You just said it.
You think that the only way you can show up as a man, what do you mean when you say show up as a man?
So what I'm hearing is that if I provide, I need full control. So when you provide, you're saying you pretty much provide financially, correct?
No, she said it. Do you realize that the expectation that you just expressed is an obligation of us that we don't have control over?
What was the expectation that I expressed? Repeat it back to me. What was my expectation?
This is what you said verbatim. You said,
can you just say a guy watching a terrible show with his lady, he's being just a good guy, or saying that, you know, it's natural because you love her? That was an expectation you just did. You didn't know that you did it. But what you say is that if I love this person and I don't want to watch this terrible show with them, do you believe I love them? You technically just said that I don't love this person, or the fact that I love this person is the reason why I watch this terrible show with them. Maybe she's saying this is for both sides. Maybe she's saying men and women or whatever, but
men feel like the only way they can show up as a man is if they have total control.
Okay.
You said that, right?
That's what it sounds like sometimes.
Okay,
yeah.
So even though you are in the woman's position, which is the secondary position, and you
Why
feel
is it secondary?
like
that has nothing to do with this right now.
I'm describing what you're talking about. You're talking about a man being in control. If he's in control, that puts the woman in the secondary position, correct?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
She's under him. He's taking all of her choice away. He controls.
So this is the context of the conversation.
Okay.
So even if the woman is in the secondary position, the expectation she has of him to provide, to protect, to do all of these things, those are obligations, right?
Well, yeah, if you're going to control me, you definitely have to.
Let's put that to the side for a second. Let's put the control aside.
That's why he's controlling me, because he is providing, right?
But let's put that to the side for a second. We can get to that in a second.
What she's trying to do is set up like random barriers. That's what she's doing right now. Because there's no need for her to be saying these things. She could just answer. What she's doing is a person that you don't want to have conversation with. She's setting up barriers so she could try to find an escape route out of this conversation.
The expectations that you just described, regardless of what woman a man gets with, from the moment a young man becomes an adult, is that not expected of him societal?
Yes.
Yes, and that's why I think, and that is exactly why I think patriarchy hurts men a lot, because it puts too much pressure on y'all to do things that may not.
That's not just patriarchy. Women expect that. What are you talking about? Did you just pretend that patriarchy is the reason why young men, as soon as they get into the age where they're supposed to work, that is patriarchy is the reason why they start working? It's not just patriarchy, my dear. What are you talking about? Women want that. It's the reason why younger women be trying to date older guys who have stuff. They're expecting you to have stuff. How you gonna blame patriarchy for that? Unless she's saying patriarchy is the only reason why women want this thing. Not that it's natural. Not that innately women want to be provided for and protected. Are you saying that's patriarchy, the only reason why women want protection and to be provided for?
To do things, not because you guys are more than capable of doing it, but it's like if you're not doing it to a certain caliber, there's all this pressure from society that's telling y'all are failing.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what? Here's the thing, because you can't pass the buck on that, because it's not just patriarchy that expects that of us. Y'all expect that of us.
Yes.
Because of patriarchy.
No, we're not gonna do that. You're not. First of all, here's the thing. You can't. You can't. Check this out, Jazz. Check this out. I'm listening to everything you're saying, and I've been listening to you this whole time.
I knew it. I knew she was gonna just blame the patriarchy. It's the patriarchy. I knew it. Y'all seen it. I seen it. We all seen it. I knew it.
And what you're doing is you're obfuscating.
No.
Because at the end of the day, you cannot complain about you as a woman being able to have autonomy. You said a woman should be able to have autonomy, right?
I think women and men should have autonomy because it's inherent.
Well, let's address women.
No one gives us freedom. We have inherent freedom.
Okay, so
it wasn't right when they took your freedoms as men before the 13th Amendment. So why would you think it's right to take a woman's freedom just because she's a woman?
We don't gotta go into all of that. I'm asking you, Jazz, as a woman in the modern era, do you feel like you have autonomy and agency over yourself?
At this time, yes.
Okay. Do you feel that most women nowadays have, because of the rights that women have, you have autonomy and agency over yourself?
Well, it depends on what state you live in, because right now, if you need any type of emergency attention, if you're trying to give birth and there's something that happens, they're banning women for having those emergency procedures.
I'm not talking
based on their,
That's not what he's talking about. Do you feel like I get to just tell you what to do? You're gonna have this baby. I'm gonna tell a guy to come in his room and you lay down and baby making time. You know, once upon a time that we didn't have doctors that had these things, right? Did you have autonomy over your body if these doctors who did these things you're talking about did not exist? If these medicines didn't exist, do you still have autonomy over your body? You're trying to say you don't have it because the things that you want them to give you, they saying we're not gonna give you it. That don't mean that. That's like saying I don't have autonomy over my body because this job won't hire me. You know that's what you're saying right now. Because Dr. O'Donnell will not prescribe me, Perk 10s. I have a headache or my body's hurting. You won't prescribe it to me. I don't have autonomy over my body.
It does vary. I mean, men's rights don't vary from state to state, but women's are right now.
Yes, it do.
Men's rights do vary from state to state. Everybody's rights.
Can you name me one? Which
I name you one?
Men's bodily rights are from state to state are dependent
men's bodily rights?
Yeah, like if something were to happen to you.
A man can be drafted to go to war.
If you don't pay child support, you go to jail. If you don't get drafted, you go to jail. There's a bunch of
people. I haven't even lived to see the draft is something
that means nothing what you're saying. She's about to do it. She's about to do a thing. Y'all ain't been in the draft. That's not the conversation, my dear.
Not every man gets drafted. Not every man is able to get drafted because there are parameters around the type of men that they draft.
Hey, Jazz, did your hero Muhammad Ali literally? And I got you, man. I just want to make sure, Jazz, you are a black activist. Like you support Muhammad Ali literally was going to go to jail because he didn't want to go to war. You should know better. You should know that man.
First off, Fatty, let's get one thing straight. She's a feminist. If you're a feminist, you're not a black activist. She tries to help women. She wants to focus in on black women. If you believe a feminist who says she's pro-black is actually pro-black, you're crazy. I'm not insulting you, Fatty. I'm just saying, letting you know she's not this thing. She's a feminist.
Say that.
No, Jess, you don't have to reply. Jess, you don't have to reply. What I'm saying is that
going with the conversation. She's derailing.
I said not every man can be drafted.
It's not about not every state. Oh my God.
Yo, first of all, it don't even matter about the draft.
And in the draft, that doesn't even happen. Y'all have never been drafted. Y'all haven't even lived to see your family members be drafted.
Because guess what? Basically, any man.
That's not even happening on a large scale. Like, what?
That's not a thing. You think you're making a point right now when you're not. You said, tell me the thing where men do not have this thing about their bodies. Well, specifically, she said state to state. So let me just clarify that. But still, he said the draft, they're going to take me and make me go to war. And now you're saying that it's not a high scale or this, that, and this, or this. No, that's not the discussion. Stop moving the goalpost. That's why he said you're just derailing the conversation. You don't have an answer. You're thinking whatever he's going to say at the end is going to make you look foolish right now.
Wavering of women's rights are.
No, but Jazz.
Ali, please, 1 second. Jazz, you know why this conversation is so frustrating to us? Because you probably never was denied health care because you are a woman and you speak for a woman that get health care denied. You probably never was denied an abortion, but you keep talking about women that lose their bodily autonomy on certain because we're revoking certain rights. You are not going through most women's struggles, and you still go ahead and say, but look at these women's struggles. Another thing remaining saying, most men might not go be drafted or might not go to jail because they don't pay child support, but this can truly happen to a man and you can lose your bodily autonomy because you're not following the rules. You are replying with, but that doesn't happen to most men.
Okay, but the thing is though.
The only thing you can say is that he's wrong, that these things did happen to you. There's nothing else. If you're about to say anything else besides that, my dear, you're crazy. In actual reality, she's nuts. That's her only way out of this.
When was the last draft?
Okay.
When was the last draft? The draft is not affecting y'all in this
I don't even have to use the draft as an example.
Women in this lifetime is our bodily autonomy and our rights.
I don't even have to use the draft.
People changing them based on their own beliefs that have nothing. No. I'm saying everybody should have the right to choose what they want to do with their body. You don't have any bearing on another person's life, whether you agree with what they're doing or not. Y'all so pro-life, but want to take away free lunches for schools for kids. Y'all so pro-life.
She just called Fatty a Republican. She just used this so-called thing that happened with the Charlie Kirk situation and just prescribed that onto Fatty. You know that's not Fatty, right? He's not a Republican. See, this is what's called flailing. This is what happens when niggas don't know what they're doing and they just start talking.
This is the reason. This right here is the reason. This right here is the reason men of the past subjugated y'all and didn't want you to be part of any type of civil conversation.
I'm triggered.
And you're proud of that.
You don't know when to shut the fuck up.
So that's the way men are able to handle. You're saying that's the only way men are able to handle.
Jazz, you're out of control. Hey, Jazz. Hey, Jazz.
But the only way for you to understand women is if you put your hands on them and subjugate them.
Excuse me?
Hey, no. We are not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Thank you, Fatty. Thank you. You see what she just did. Because Angry Man said what he said, somehow she took this whole conversation and tried to once again prescribe on them. They want to go back to where you got to, lay hands on people. That's That's what she just did. See that right there? That was crack. Hey, I don't just do these videos just like, I'm not like following Jazz. She's the one person who is like comfortable saying stuff that just don't make sense, but she don't flinch either. And she can keep looking at the camera too. Usually I thought people who don't know what they're saying, they like looked away while speaking. But if you can look at me while still saying something that makes no sense, and somewhere deep inside, I'm pretty sure you know it don't make sense. If you can do that, that's a different type of skill. That's a bad mother right there.
That'll be a script. Script reads me.
What the hell does that even mean?
That's incredible, Jazz. That's incredible, Jazz. Jazz. That's so dangerous, Jazz.
It is.
Jazz, why are you
the only
saying
way
that?
you know how to win a discussion is to villainize men.
That's why we subjugated you.
That's the
You
only
just
way you
said
know
that,
how to
angry
win a
man.
discussion.
You just said that's why
That's
we
the only way
subjugated
you know
you.
how to
Subjugated also means violence. It also means like physical. That's what that means.
win a
Because
discussion.
y'all don't know how to shut up.
You know where I
What
was
you
getting
just
ready to
said-
go. She know where I was getting ready to go.
What you just said was it was okay for men
That's
to
why she's
subjugate women
doing
because
it.
you didn't know how to communicate
She's
with them.
doing this
And you're
right
proud of
now.
that.
She's doing this right now because she knows
You
the
just
point
said
I was
that.
getting ready to make.
You're proud
She
of the
knows
fact that
the
men
point I
used
was
to be
getting
able
ready
to
to make.
subjugate
And
women,
what
right?
she's doing is she's derailing the conversation so that I can't make the
No, I'm
point.
not.
He sounds
No, I'm
right.
not. You just bragged about the fact that y'all could subjugate women because we
I
didn't shut the
absolutely
fuck
did.
up.
No, hey,
So
Jazz,
what
no,
you're saying is you don't know how to communicate.
Jazz, stop. Jazz.
That's crazy. We
Jazz, no,
treat
Jazz,
each other
Jazz.
with love.
Maybe
No,
you should
everybody
cry
stop.
about it.
Everybody stop, please. Everybody
I
stop.
do cry about
Maybe
it.
you
I
should-
cry
Jazz,
about it.
stop. Hey, everybody stop, please. Everybody stop. It's like, Jazz, if I'm talking with Ali and I don't let him finish his point or I keep diverging the conversation to another thing that I want, and Mr. Fantastic said, and this is why some people deserve bullying. It's not that Mr. Fantastic is in favor of bullying. He's just saying, Fatty, shut the up and have the conversation. Because once again, if there was consequences for you just being obnoxious and going every time we can left and diverting from the conversation, like you understand what he's saying. So what are we doing? Let's please have the conversation with each other, please. And if one person is talking, we're going to let him finish. I'm going to allow the line of questioning for 5 minutes. And then Mr. Fantastic Ali and Lolo take over, please.
Hey, yo, man, Freddie, I'm telling you, Angry Man, I think he's right. He might have predicted this. I think she now knows where he was going in this conversation. And some guy explained to me how she lost her mind, just lost it on the draft being the thing. That's what you lost your mind on.
I'm not going to prolong it more than 5 minutes, so please, Angry Man, go ahead. If this doesn't work, we'll move on.
Yo, this is the reason why dudes be in prison. Because chicks be like, oh, I didn't feel safe around him. That type of shit.
True again.
That type of shit. Oh, I didn't feel safe around him. I thought he was going to do X, Y, Z. That type of shit, right? So going back to the point that I was trying to make, because I was communicating properly, you was the one that didn't know how to communicate. Because I asked you a simple question and you ran off into the woods and into the weeds on some shit. You can't. So since you don't want to communicate and actually have the conversation, I'll just dictate. So basically what you've done is you sat here the entire night and proclaimed your autonomy and your agency. And then when I said something about you as a woman having expectations on us men that are obligations, all of a sudden that's the patriarchy's fault. How is that the patriarchy's fault if you have autonomy? If you have agency, if you have your own mind and you can think for yourself? You can't be the victim and empowered at the same damn time.
That's true.
The same way you feel like, oh, men have power over women. Guess what? Y'all have power over us through sheer obligation. And as far as you saying, oh, well, when was the last time was the draft? It don't matter. Because at the end of the day, a man, depending on what state he's in, can be locked up for owing child support, even though this country doesn't have a debtor's prison. So guess what? You're not the only one that doesn't have bodily autonomy. Last time I checked, we had a pandemic and people was losing their jobs because they wouldn't get a freaking vaccine. That's not bodily autonomy, is it? And that wasn't relegated to just women. And to sit up here and say something about, oh, we're losing our health care, we're losing, that's BS. You went and had sex with somebody and got pregnant, and now you want to have the right to delete the baby. That ain't got nothing to do with health care. That has to do with you wanting to have the option to delete a baby.
True again.
So cut it out.
Right. So, again, comparing the draft to, you know, women's bodily autonomy is just not.
Yeah, because
really
men
not the
don't matter
same.
with men.
It's just not really the same.
Let her finish, please.
He's right. All you just said, it doesn't matter when men get deleted. You was dragging your words. You don't know what to say, especially once you start telling you about child support part. There's nothing you can say. Pandemic thing, there's nothing you can say. You lost.
And Jed, I just want you to do one thing. Can you be specific to that bodily autonomy thing? What does that mean exactly?
So it's
Thank
just like,
you.
okay, so when it comes to the draft, it's like it applies to men being forced into the military, right?
Mhm.
It's about state obligation, you know, potential loss of life. And like historically, men have argued that it was unfair, right? Which you absolutely should. You've argued that it was unfair that they had to serve when women didn't, but that's a question of like distribution of civic duty, not denial of personal autonomy in everyday life. So like when it comes to removal of women's rights, it refers to systemic, daily.
No. That's not what I said. Jess, if I ask a question, you have
Thank
to
you.
answer it. You talk exactly what happens to men. I might go to war, get PTSD, die, get crippled, injured, all that. When you're talking about woman bodily autonomy, if this is not an abortion conversation, what are you talking about exactly? If it's not abortion.
Thank you, Fatty. Thank you. I can't wait for you to answer this.
Having access to Tylenol right now is on the chopping block for pregnant women.
The biggest rapper in the world. These niggas, yeah, Drake. Drake.
Because some pregnant women need it. And if you look up the data, a lot of women do take Tylenol when they're giving birth to help with their pain. And they're trying to remove that because they're trying to say that is directly linked to autism. And it has been debunked so many times that is inaccurate. There is no link to Tylenol that is creating autism, but there are men in these places considering removing that and having women having no access to these things when they are giving birth.
Let her finish. I just want to make sure, Jess, because this is Jess. Can you replace Tylenol with another medic thing? Can you do it?
My point is this, guys.
I knew you wasn't gonna answer that. She said Tylenol. Oh yeah, man. I don't know why y'all talking her. That's perk 20 right there. Perk 10, she just popped a perk 20.
I just popped a perk 10. Perk 30, I just popped a perk 30.
Like that right there. That's different level right there. She gonna be in the middle of the street shaking because of what she just did.
Don't matter.
No, I ask you a question. I ask you a question. If you say, hey, Jess, if you say this, they are fighting for the right of me not wearing Jordans. Mr. Fantastic is going to say, Fatty, stop being a crybaby. You can buy Adidas, you can buy Nikes, you can buy Timberlands, you have other shoes. Why are you crying about Jordans? If I take you Tylenol, can you substitute that for other medical thing that will help you with?
So another thing, some women want to have babies.
Can you answer the question first?
Answer the question.
She won't.
Answer the question. I'm talking to you. Answer the question.
Answer the question first.
Can you repeat the question, please?
She's just schooling everybody. She's not trying to have a conversation.
It's fine, Angry Man.
Because I was trying to.
No, it's fine, Jess. The first question. This is Jess. I'm actually going to explain what is happening here, right? It looks like when you answer questions is to go away from the initial point, right? The first question was about abortion. You mentioned Tylenol. I'm saying, and everybody on the panel knows, that Tylenol, you can replace that. Like, I can literally go to the hospital and they might say, we are out of Tylenol, but we have this substance that does exactly what Tylenol does for y'all to have kids, right? So there's a non-issue. It's like you're removing Jordans from woman and woman can still wear other pair of shoes, right? There's not a non-issue. Other than abortion, right? Other than abortion, what do you mean when you say woman bodily autonomy?
So a woman has a right. So in some states, they want to remove the right to use IVF science for helping women who aren't as fertile as other women. They're trying to remove that science for them to be able to have children because they believe their religious beliefs. They are of the belief that that is not God's way. And all I'm saying is this: if you're pro-life, don't limit the opportunity for us to bring about life, but then don't also restrict the help that I could have based on your own personal beliefs when your personal beliefs have no bearing on my body. Why? If I want to have a baby, which everybody is pro-life, right? But it's hard for me. There's a womb issue. My husband has an issue. We need help. There is science that has been revolutionized to help women to conceive naturally. Well, have a natural birth, but conceive with the help of science. And they want to remove that and remove that choice for some women based on.
Freddie, can I please go?
The problem.
I just wanted to tell what state is this?
The problem.
I'll look it up.
The problem with her argument, this is the problem with these arguments.
No, Angerman, don't move the conversation. What state is this? Prove it. Now we're going to do this. What state is this? What is this state? What is this state that is fighting? What is this? What is this happening?
In fact, it's still irrelevant either way because unless it's banned federally where she can't go anywhere and get it, her point is moot. The same thing for abortion. No, it's not. The shit was given back to the states. There is a minority of states that completely and totally outright ban baby deletion, and neither of their state does that. You can go to another state and get it done. This is more to where you ask her any question and you pin her down, she goes on to the next. It's like the Tylenol. Okay, well, we know there's I don't know how many different types of NSAIDs, and she don't even know what the hell. Well, I don't want. She does. She's not aware of what she's talking about. She's talking about it's been debunked.
I'm a woman.
I know what's
going on.
But even
so in Alabama.
How did you being a woman means anything? What kind of sense does that make?
Yeah, I was high when I said that.
I didn't bring up your gender at all. I'm talking about you as an individual.
We're talking about women's rights, and you're telling me
about what you said.
You as a man, and that's my point.
Okay, but I'm talking about what you said because I'm actually versed, and I didn't interrupt you. Brother.
Having a conversation about women's bodies. You've been sitting here since
talking about women's autonomy,
which has everything to do with men.
Ask me about women's autonomy.
Somebody was talking. Somebody was talking.
Time out. See,
she already do it again.
This has to be addressed. This has to be addressed. You want to sit here and say that men shouldn't have the right to talk about women's bodies and what women is doing.
Can you name all the parts of a vagina?
Meanwhile,
can you name all the parts inside of a woman's
derailing?
Well, it's not that many things in a uterus.
Can I finish a thought? Can I be able to finish a thought?
You got a uterus, you got ovaries, you have my bad, Anger Man. She was challenging my anatomical knowledge.
This is ridiculous.
This is the reason why men in this day and age are so frustrated with women. You don't want us to talk about your body, but you get to talk about what men's responsibilities are. You get to talk about the patriarchy that men built. You get to talk about everything we did. Not only talk about it, but vilify it, demonize it, call it toxic, call it evil, all of that shit. You get to do all of that, but we can't talk about a woman's body.
You can talk about it, but you should not have a right to control a law.
You don't have a right to talk about what men created. You don't have a right.
No, men don't have a right to create laws against women's bodies. It's not every right to create.
ISO. That's not fair. 50% of women in the United States are against abortion. And you know what's this up about this conversation,
and that's
Jess?
their business.
Jess. This is why I actually wanted to make sure you answered the question. All of this is dog whistles about abortion. All of it. Yes. From the beginning to the end, the only thing that you are mentioning that is actually something that you might have to talk about it is the Roe v. Wade. Is the only thing. There's nothing that you can talk about woman autonomy That's somebody that a woman can do. A woman can get Jess, I wasn't finished. A woman can get the train run on her, having 10 babies, be on Section 8, having more babies. If she doesn't want to tie her tubes, she doesn't have to. If she doesn't want to do nothing against their will, she doesn't have to. There's nothing. You are lying. That's a lie. It's about abortion. No, it's about abortion. And this is what I'm talking about.
They're also trying to ban.
Jess, this is the most ridiculous ever. You are comparing, right? I'll repeat it again so you can see the ridiculous of this. The patriarchy is pushing men to the brink to the point where they don't want to make families anymore because they can afford it. They are deleting themselves. They're becoming homeless. They're going to war. They are the most mentally ill, the most alcoholics, the most of that. And the only thing you have to counterpoint that is, but what about my abortion? Is the only thing. How can you compare that with actually what we're talking about, the effects of patriarchy on men? What is the autonomy that you don't have? Jess, right now you. No, Jess, stop. Right now you. If you don't answer the question, we're going to move along and I'll let the fellas go. Jess, you said to Angry Man and to Mr. Fantastic, don't talk about that you haven't gone through. You don't have a vagina. So we're going to talk about Jess. Right now, Jess, what is the right that you don't have over your body right now, or that the patriarchy makes you oppressed? What is this? What is it?
It's the fact that there are men trying to change laws in regards to women's rights at all.
She's retarded. Big screen. You're like allergic to actually answering questions. This man asked you, what do you have? What about your rights? Anything right now. Then you brought up they're trying to. You don't have anything. You just keep talking. Words come out, but nothing means anything. She might as well be speaking pig Latin. Words are coming out. Don't nobody know what they means because not connected.
Guten Abend.
No connection. She's just saying words. Angry Man, I'm so sorry. Fatty, I'm so sorry. Ali and Mr. Fantastic had to just sit there and listen to it. The stress that happens from this. Oh God. Even though Jazz do what she do, even though she do all that, she is not afraid to say what's on her mind. And she got some real big flaws when it comes to it, but she's not afraid. She must listen to like Eminem. She has to be a fan of Eminem. She gotta be. I'm not afraid. Yeah. Ayo. Angry Man, I don't know how he handled this. That was stressful. The draft. She lost her mind when they brought up the draft, which was true. And then she said they're trying to take away Tylenol. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Tylenol. Oh man, you can't help a motherfucker like that.